Hey there, welcome back. This is Lacey here with A Sweet Pea Chef, and I am so glad you're here with me today because I want to talk about one of the biggest wins in the clean eating, healthy eating world, and that is broccoli. Broccoli is not only nutritionally dense because it has a lot of protein and fiber and mega nutrients, it's also really tasty. You can have it raw or cooked or steamed or mashed, and it can turn into all sorts of things. Plus, when you roast it, something magical happens and it turns into this delicious, crunchy, yet tender, very, very flavorful side dish. So today I'm gonna show you how to make 4 different roasted broccoli meal prep recipes, and each of these can be used throughout the week. They are so tasty and so very different, so you're gonna have 4 really good options to turn to for a really easy meal prep broccoli side for the week. So let's get started. For each of these broccoli recipes today, we are going to be using essentially the same steps, but we're going to be adding in different flavors to make them all their own unique recipe. So in all of these, we're gonna wanna be preheating our oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and lining a rimmed baking sheet with some parchment paper or aluminum foil. FYI, if you like to meal prep a lot, like me, and you wanna be cooking more than one broccoli recipe at a time so you have some variation during the week, you can get yourself a jumbo rimmed baking sheet, and I can show you a link for that in the description below, or you can click on it right now on the screen. These are awesome because you can fit double the amount of stuff onto your rimmed baking sheet, and it just has so much more space to work with. So definitely a big win if you are a meal prepper. To save time and resources when you're cooking, you can always buy broccoli that's been broken into florets already for you. That is a huge time saver, and it's just a little bit more expensive than broccoli crowns and then breaking them. The only downside of that is you don't break them yourself, so sometimes they're giant and you still have to break them anyway, or sometimes the person who broke them or the machine that broke them breaks them into really tiny pieces. So in order to get them nice and even, I'm gonna show you how to break a broccoli crown into florets. But again, you can always buy it pre-broken down if you wanna save time. So to start with, you wanna pick out broccoli that is nice and green and has no brown spots on it. Then before you cook it, we need to clean it to remove any dirt or debris from the broccoli crown. So go ahead and you just rinse it under running water. Then it is time to cut it. So place your cleaned broccoli crown onto a cutting board. We're gonna slice off the stem. You can put this stem later into this recipe. This recipe is mostly for broccoli florets. I like just eating the stem raw. It is one of the best parts and I absolutely love it. It's like sweet and tender for broccoli and it's really, really good. So if you don't want to throw that on out, you can go ahead and have it as a little snack when you're cooking. So using a paring knife or a chef knife, we're gonna start by just removing the easy florets around the edges of the broccoli crown. And then as it gets to be a little bit farther into the crown, when they all are a lot closer together, you might need to slice off a little bit more of the stem, and then you just kind of keep repeating that until you wind up with no more florets to cut. For these broccoli meal prep recipes, we want the broccoli to be evenly sized so that not only does it cook evenly when it's in the oven, but later during the week, it's gonna reheat evenly in the microwave. So we wanna make sure these are pretty even. If you have any broccoli florets that are pretty large and look like a giant bush or a giant tree, you can just separate those by slicing down the center of the stem very carefully and then pulling it apart. If you were to just start cutting through the bushy part of your broccoli, it would make a mess and all those little broccoli, little leaf pieces will fall and they'll get all messy. So this is the neatest way to do it and also is the less cleanup. So that's what I like. For each of these recipes, we are going to be using about 3 medium-large broccoli crowns. That's gonna be roughly 1.5 to 2 pounds total, and it's gonna be about 5 cups of broccoli florets for each of the recipes. First off is the OG of roasted broccoli for me, which is garlic parmesan roasted broccoli. So easy to do and so flavorful. The garlic and the parmesan are just perfect in the roasted broccoli recipe for this meal prep broccoli. So yummy. So go ahead and get our lined, rimmed baking sheet out. And and then we are going to add our broccoli florets out onto our baking sheet. From here, it's 5 more ingredients. Are you ready? We're gonna drizzle some olive oil over there. Then we are going to add some sea salt, some ground black pepper, very thinly sliced garlic, and some grated Parmesan cheese. It's that simple. And kind of toss all this, manipulate everything around so you get the broccoli as coated as possible, and then spread the broccoli out evenly again so that it's gonna cook evenly, because trust me when I say you're gonna want all the broccoli flat on the baking sheet, because it's gonna get nice and golden brown, especially with that Parmesan in there, with that little bit of fat from the cheese. It's gonna be really, really yummy. If you are a vegan or vegetarian, you can replace the Parmesan cheese with some nutritional yeast. It'll taste the same and it'll still be super yummy. Then we're gonna transfer our broccoli into the oven at 425 degrees. We're gonna cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're looking for the broccoli to become mostly tender when pierced with a fork, and especially you're gonna wanna have the golden brown deliciousness on the broccoli, especially where it's touching the rim baking sheet. So that's how you know it is ready. When it looks like that, remove it from the oven and allow it to cool. I like to add a little bit of grated Parmesan over this recipe when it's all done and in our meal prep container. I store this meal prep roasted garlic Parmesan broccoli in a meal prep container that can be microwaved later. These glass ones are absolutely amazing and I love them for meal prep. I can share the link for you in the description below, or you can click on the screen for the link for Amazon on how to buy your own. They are super awesome. I highly recommend getting yourself some meal prep containers, especially if you're meal prepping a lot, because airtight containers are everything when you're meal prepping. So this roasted broccoli can last in the fridge for up to 5 days. When you're ready to enjoy it, just reheat it in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes until it's heated all the way through. And you got yourself a tasty meal prepped roasted garlic Parmesan broccoli recipe side for you all week long. So yummy. Next, we're gonna have an Asian-inspired roasted broccoli meal prep recipe. So we're gonna be making sesame ginger roasted broccoli for our side. This is so flavorful and just packs so much deliciousness in your broccoli. So I can't wait to share this one with you. So go ahead and on a rimmed baking sheet, we're gonna lay out our broccoli florets. Then we're gonna drizzle some sesame oil over our broccoli florets. Follow that with a little bit of low sodium soy sauce, some minced garlic, minced fresh ginger, ground black pepper, and some crushed red pepper flakes for a little bit of a kick. We're gonna toss all this together and coat the broccoli as best we can, and then we're gonna spread the broccoli back out as evenly as possible. It's okay if some of the broccoli overlaps. It's totally fine. It won't ruin anything. So don't get too crazy about it. Just try to get it spread out as much as you can. Then we're gonna transfer the broccoli into the oven and we're gonna roast it for about 15 to 20 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. We're looking for the broccoli to be pretty tender when you pierce it with a fork, and you're gonna want where it's touching the cookie sheet to be nice and golden brown and looking delicious. The tops of the broccolis are also gonna have a little bit of goldenness to them at the top. Goldenness is totally a word. It is how you know broccoli is roasted and it's perfect. So once it looks that way, go ahead and remove it from the oven, and then you can transfer it into your meal prep container once it's cold. I like to sprinkle a few sesame seeds over the top of this sesame ginger roasted broccoli for our meal prep broccoli recipe. It is just so tasty and it'll last in the fridge for up to 5 to 6 days. Just take it out, reheat it in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes, and you have a delicious side that goes really, really great with salmon, especially like teriyaki salmon and some rice and just so much goodness. Now we're gonna move on to our next roasted broccoli recipe, which is lemon roasted broccoli. Adding lemon, you're gonna do some lemon juice and some lemon zest. It really is so vibrant and fresh. It just has this really, really light taste to it. So it's really, really yummy for roasted broccoli. And again, magic happens in the oven when it gets roasted. It's so tasty. So let's get it started. We're gonna go ahead and put our broccoli florets onto our rimmed baking sheet that's been lined with either parchment paper or aluminum foil. And then over that, we are gonna add our olive oil, followed by some freshly squeezed lemon juice, some fresh lemon zest, thinly sliced lemon, Just go ahead and thinly slice the lemon. You're gonna wanna remove any seeds because you might be getting those in your broccoli later, followed by a little bit of sea salt and some ground black pepper. And then toss all this together with your hands or with a fork. You want it to become as evenly coated as possible. It's gonna be a little awkward because this is a bunch of broccoli florets. And then just go ahead and spread the broccoli out as evenly as you can, and make sure that you have some of those lemon slices on the top and on the bottom near the baking sheet so that you get different levels of cook and they release their juices. And you'll see if you have some near the top, they're gonna get nice and golden brown. They're so tasty looking. Transfer this lemon broccoli recipe into the oven so that we can roast it at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes until our broccoli is tender when poked with the fork and is looking all golden and delicious and it's ready. And you'll just smell all those delicious lemony flavors as it cooks in the oven. Then remove it and allow it to cool. And then we're gonna transfer it into our meal prep container. Just for good measure, I like to serve this lemon roasted broccoli with some more lemon wedges because fresh lemon on broccoli is also very delicious. And I don't want to forget that it's lemon roasted broccoli, so I'm going to put more lemons on there. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I like to put lemons on mine. So go ahead and transfer it into the refrigerator, sealed in an airtight container. Again, these glass meal prep containers are amazing, and I love them so much, and you can get the link for them below in the description. They will last in the refrigerator for up to 5 to 6 days this way, and you can just reheat them for 1 to 2 minutes until heated through. This makes a great side, or I just really, when I'm looking for like a little snack and I want to have something but I don't want to eat anything heavy but I want to have it be healthy, I know that I can go and grab any of these broccoli recipes, and this lemon broccoli is a really good standalone snack because it's just so tasty and it has all that good nutrients in there. All right, so we've made a garlic parmesan broccoli, a sesame ginger broccoli, and we just made a lemon roasted broccoli. So now we gotta add a little bit of heat. So let's make some spicy roasted broccoli for our broccoli meal prep ×4. And this one's gonna be not only spicy, but also a little bit creamy thanks to a little sauce we're gonna make using some Greek yogurt. Super yummy. So to make our sauce in a mixing bowl, we're gonna add in some full fat, plain Greek yogurt. If you are following a vegan or vegetarian or non-dairy diet, it is also very easy to replace our Greek yogurt with a non-dairy option. Just choose one that is as close to a plain tart yogurt as possible, and that will work perfectly because all we're looking for is that creamy base. For those of you who don't mind having the dairy part of our yogurt, that is gonna be a nice high protein option to add to our broccoli, and it's gonna really add a lot of creaminess. So all of those will work, it just depends on what diet you want to follow. So after our yogurt, we're gonna add in a little bit of freshly squeezed lemon juice, followed by some olive oil, some sriracha or some chili paste, some sea salt, and a little bit of ground black pepper, and then stir to combine. You wanna make sure this is really nice and evenly mixed. Then we're gonna grab our broccoli florets and place them out onto our baking sheet, and we're gonna drizzle our tasty yogurt spicy sauce all over it, and then we're gonna toss it with our hands. If you wanted, you could do this in a large mixing bowl. That might get it a little bit more coated more evenly, but then you get a mixing bowl all dirty, and I would rather just do it all onto the baking sheet. Choice is yours. Then spread the broccoli out as evenly as possible back out onto the baking sheet and transfer it into the oven. We're gonna cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit until that sauce has become nice and thick and the broccoli is tender and starting to become golden brown and smelling absolutely delicious. Go ahead and remove it from the oven and then allow it to cool. And then we're gonna transfer that into our meal prep containers so that we can have our delicious, spicy, roasted broccoli for meal prep for the whole week. I like to top it with a little bit of sliced green onions to add a little bit of coolness and crispness to this recipe, and it is good to go. And just reheat it for about 1 to 2 minutes when you're ready to eat it later in the week. It makes just a great side to add to like any bowl for a lot of spice, or you can have it next to a protein or just as a snack. It is so, so yummy. Again, I will leave the link for the meal prep containers that I use in this video and like every day of my life in the link below, and then I'll also link to them in this video that you can click on right away. They are actually pretty darn affordable, and they're very good for the planet because they are reusable and they're glass, so they're healthy for your body as well. And the glass reheats in the microwave very nicely, and they just keep it nice and fresh during the week. So definitely recommend these meal prep containers if you're looking to buy yourself some, which I highly recommend if you're gonna be making these roasted broccoli recipes because they are perfect for a week's worth of meal prep. All right, so now you have 4 delicious broccoli meal prep recipes that are gonna just be so easy to make, easy to prep ahead, and then you have them all week long to enjoy as part of your meal prep. Just grab it and add it to whatever plate you're wanting for a tasty green veggie, or even a side if you're wanting as a snack. It's just so versatile, so easy, and such simple ingredients to create so much flavor. In the comments below, let me know which recipe sounds best to you and how many you want to make like right now, because I am all about broccoli, especially if it has magical roasted broccoli flavors. So I hope you enjoy these recipes. Make sure to check out my slow cooker shredded chicken meal prep recipe videos. I have 4 different meal prep shredded chicken recipes that you can make using a slow cooker. So while you got your broccoli in the oven, you can be cooking your shredded chicken, and then all you gotta do is add like a grain. You got a delicious bowl ready to go all week long, and it's just awesomeness. Make sure to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you have not yet, say hello in the comments, and it was so great having you here with me today. Enjoy broccoli, enjoy meal prep, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks for watching. See you later, bye-bye.